and our host and director who can go into details about some of those burning questions and also other questions which you may have as well, because that is the whole essence of this event, where you get to ask questions regarding the hotel operations and also the nautical running and of course the navigation side of the ship. But by all means, ladies and gentlemen, what's going to take place is that we have Eco right here, him and myself. We're going to be coming around with the microphones. So if you do have a question, just raise your hands. We'll come around to you, you'll ask your question. Everyone will be able to hear, and then our captain and our host and director will be able to answer accordingly. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you got to put your hands together and give them a big round of applause. We have our hotel director, Alex, and our captain, Ruben.
Quite many people came here. You left the inside passage to stay with me. That's nice. So let me give you some insight of who am I and my career. So I'm from Bulgaria, living in Varna on the Black Sea coast, and maybe that is one of the reasons why I became a seafarer, a mariner. Our naval academy is actually in Varna, in my place, so it was a very easy decision. My father also was in this business, not sailing, but dealing with ships coming to the port. So for me, it was very easy decision what I want to be since very young. I told everyone I want to be a captain. Later on, when I came in the Maritime Academy, I told everyone I want to be a captain of a cruise ship. And here am I. But before that, it took me 10 years on container ships. After I graduated, I traveled all around the world on container ships. I came up to chief officer position, and at that time I had to take a decision because the company I was working for told me, okay, next contract, our plan is to promote you for captain. So I have to decide, do I want to be a captain for the rest of my career on a container ship, or I want to follow my dream to work on cruise ships. And I diverted from being on container ships, stepped down in position, and started on a small cruise ships in the Indian Ocean as a chief officer. But very shortly, maybe after first contract there, I was promoted to staff captain and spent some of the most unforgettable years on cruise ship in the Indian Ocean. So you guys, if you're thinking about where to go to cruise, this is one of the areas that you can be amazed of what you will find there. I'm talking about Zanzibar, about Seychelles, Madagascar, Mayotte, Reunion, all these small islands, beautiful islands in the Indian Ocean. And what is so attractive there, one of the things they don't have is they don't have diamond internationals, but they have nature, and they have people that are living in a way that you think that this is something that was happening 500, 600 years back. So really you're going back to the nature there. So just a tip if you're thinking where to go next. After this small cruise ship I was on, I received the offer that you cannot say no, and that was from Royal Caribbean. It was the transition year of 2007 when many Norwegian officers were leaving Royal Caribbean, and they simply needed people. And at that time it was a phone call. Are you ready? Yes. Okay, you have a ship. Nowadays you go through one interview, second interview, third interview, tests, and so on and so on. It's not that easy, but that time we were hired right there for Royal Caribbean. So I joined in 2007. So already, what is it, 17 years with Royal. And my first ship was the Majesty of the Seas. I spent there 3 years, beautiful ship. When I came there, from the little one that I was working on, I was working at Majesty, and I'm coming here to this big ship, wow. So 3 years later, guess what? I ended up on the startup team of the Allure of the Seas from Majesty. So again, I'm coming to Allure as coming from Majesty, and I'm here. But then I spent the next almost 10 years on the Oasis class ships. And from first officer, I made all the way up to chief officer, to staff captain to even twice I was the captain of the Allure at that time, 2015, when she was still the biggest cruise ship in the world. So from the Oasis class I have the Allure, then startup of Symphony, then Oasis, and Wonder. I haven't been on Harmony only and New Utopia, but you never know, maybe one day. Sometime in actually the beginning of 2020, I was joining incubation in Australia, and the idea was to go there for 5 weeks only, and to go home for full vacation and then to return. So guess what happened there? It was March 18th. I'm sure everyone knows what was going on, but the pandemic hit. And instead of 5 weeks on board, I spent 6.5 months on board. Because suddenly, this beautiful ship, nobody wanted them. They chased us out from the ports. We were hanging around Australia for a month, hoping that very soon we will come back and resume our service. It took 2 years to resume the service. And it wasn't easy. Most of the ships we remain with 100, 150 crew members only, completely empty, and these beautiful ships staying empty, that's not their main fault. But we went through this, thanks to you guys, because you start coming back, you trusted us, and the cruise industry resumed the service. And now we're even running with more than 100% occupancy. So, yeah. Regarding my position as a captain in 2022, before that I was for almost half a year captain of probation, but it was during the out of service. And 22, in February, I came to Radiance as a captain, permanent position, and since then that's my ship. And so far still I'm the only Bulgarian captain in Royal Caribbean. Hopefully soon will be some more there on the way, but what should I say, that's the short story of my 30 years career, because I started sailing in 1994, exactly 30 years ago. And now when I was on vacation, because I joined last week with my classmates from the academy, who were all captains, we had some very nice gathering celebrating the 30 years anniversary. So it was nice to be home. Okay, that's for me. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you, Captain. A very good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alex, and I have the pleasure to be your hotel director on board Radiance of the Seas. Now I'm all the way from Austria. Anyone been to Austria before? No? Anyone seen The Sound of Music?
Yes.
Coming from Austria, obviously you may wonder how did I end up working on cruise ships. In the 80s I was inspired by 2 TV shows. One was called Hotel and the other one?
The Love Boat.
The Love Boat, yes. And actually I worked 19 years for the Love Boat company before joining Royal Caribbean, which is now 7 years ago. And now Radiance is already my permanent ship as a permanent hotel director for the last 3 years. And I also just joined with Captain actually with you folks last Vancouver. Now what does a hotel director do? We have about 850 crew members, officers on board, and you can count about 140 marine officers and crew, and the rest obviously is working in the hotel department, providing food. That's for the food and beverage department. Then we have the housekeeping department, guest services, entertainment, IT, inventory, and human resources, and digital content, and of course all the revenue areas as well. They all are part of the hotel department. Now, together with the marine department, we make sure that obviously on the ship everything is safe and sound, secure, and also public health is also a very big topic all the time, as we have obviously lots of food serving and guests on board. And yeah, that's what I'm doing. Now I'm sitting here waiting for your answers and looking forward to it. Thank you so much. Wait, okay. No, I can ask you a question, yes? No, I wait obviously for your question, and I hope I have the answer for you when you get them.
All right, folks, if you have any questions, just go ahead and raise your hands.
Hello. Good afternoon, Captain. This is for you. Considering last disaster that happened with Baltimore Bridge collapse with the cargo ship that hit that bridge, it went in total power failure. If this cruise ship were to go under power failure, the same situation, how long would it take you to fire up the auxiliary power?
2 minutes and 40 seconds. That's the extra gas turbine that I have on standby. Right now is one gas turbine running and one DG, diesel generator. So the second gas turbine is on standby. If I need it, 2 minutes and 40 seconds, it will be on full swing.
For the captain, first of all, thank you for doing the birthdays. That's a nice touch. We haven't experienced before. And then 2 questions. If you're able to answer, can you tell us anything about propulsion issues that this ship recently experienced? And on a side note, any information that you can release on the Discovery class?
Well, definitely for Discovery class, I know as much as you. Only rumors, but what I know that they should be coming maybe 28, 29, in that range. That means that pretty soon there should be some announcement, because these ships needs to be built and the building process takes 2 to 3 years. So soon will be the news everywhere. But details about how they will be working, how big, we know that they are considered small ships to be, but nowadays small is what was huge 20 years ago. And sorry? Definitely, yeah. And regarding the propulsion issue, well, that was a long time ago actually. It was the week before we started the Alaskan season, because I just came on for the very first week of the Alaskan season. I opened the season, now I'm closing the Alaskan season. So there was an issue with one of the azipods, and fortunately we had to cancel one cruise, which was supposed to be the very first Alaskan cruise. So the resources could come and assist us, because the manufacturers of our propulsion, which is actually azipods. The azipods are electric motors that can rotate 360, so I can turn them in every direction I want to move the ship. So they're in Finland, and to prepare all the tools and to check what they're supposed to do and to make the planning, it takes some time until they come. So this was the reason the cruise was cancelled. But they came, they repaired very efficiently, the ship did a sea trial, they came back and I boarded the ship, and my other colleague said, okay, here are the keys. We don't have keys. Here is the ship. And it was a very smooth Alaskan season. So everything was rectified. Of course, it's a situation that nobody expected, nobody wants to cancel a cruise, but it happened. Yeah. So now we have a very healthy ship, and Alaskan season just passed like that, without any challenges.
Any other questions? Just raise your hands.
Your crew comes from many different countries. What personnel challenges do you have managing people from different countries?
Well, some of the crew members sing very good. For example, I can't. And that's a big challenge for me, because everyone expects that the captain is singing also, but that's on the funny side. Actually, I have 2 types of crew members. I say good seafarers and seafarers that need improvement, need help to improve. So I don't divide by nationalities. We have 70 plus nationalities. So this is an international crew, multinational, and I can tell you that it's a very easy way to work with so many different nationalities, because we have our strict protocols, procedures, everyone, of course, comes with their culture. Diversity is huge, but when it comes to the work, to the protocols, to the way we deliver the service, doesn't matter what nationality you are. So, like for example, on the bridge, we are all the navigation officers, we are 6 or 7 nationalities right now, but we are one team bridge, a bridge team, and the last thing I care is who is coming from where. It's more who is capable and who needs my assistance to reach the level of the rest. So that's our challenge, to bring everybody on the same level. During the pandemic, what I would say is a challenge is that we lost a lot of good crew members. Many found job on the land and they figured out that maybe not for the same pay, less pay, but they're at home, they're with family, so why should they come back? And since then, when we returned to service, we hired a lot. And still, with the new ships that we are building, in the next 1-2 years, maybe another 30,000 crew members should be joining our company. And that's huge. So all this, we call them new royals, to bring them to the culture, the royal culture, to the level what the rest of us are having. It's a challenge. We a lot of training, a lot of coaching, and that's where our focus is. So I would say this is the challenge.